This is the Crystal Chronicles, your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast, with Arolai, Kreese, and Mark, bringing you all your Defo news and talk. Welcome to Season 4, the LDBT era. Now let's start the show.
Hey everybody, it's Mark from the Crystal Chronicles. Before we start this very, very special episode of the Crystal Chronicles, I need to have a little disclaimer. Just a minute, if you'll entertain me. You know, mobile games, they change. And you know, more than that, I think we change, don't we, as people? And so, things change. Podcasts change, games change, people change, and like so many of our friends, content creators, fellow streamers, we have to follow the money. I mean, the people. And so as of today, this is the official podcast of Genshin Impact. So glad all of you are joining in to learn all about Genshin Impact today. No, I'm joking, of course.
Hey, Mark, I quit.
No, this is your official, unsolicited, unlicensed Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast, and we're here to talk about my best gal, Rinoa, and a whole bunch of other crap tonight. Welcome to episode 121. This is a podcast. Glad you can all join us. We love to talk about this game. Thank you, Macnell, for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you, Ito, for the Twitch Prime sub or the regular subscription. We appreciate everybody who supports this wonderful thing we call the Crystal Chronicles. Hey, I'm not here by myself. I'm here with Rinoa, Yuna's in back. But I'm here with two other friends. You know her and love her. Her name is Arolai. Aro, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I made money this week. So, yeah, I'm feeling even better now that I got paid.
Money is good. That's why we're going to be streaming Genshin Impact. No. Kreese, who's also streaming. Check out Kreese's Twitch channel. The games he's been streaming seem interesting to me. I hope you like them too. Kreese, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. As someone mentioned in chat, I'm no shill. So when we switch over to Genshin Impact, I will be quitting.
Dark Demon 22, thank you for the subscription. No, the Crystal Chronicles is your Final Fantasy mobile gaming hub. And for the last 121 episodes, we have been a Defo podcast, and that's not going to change anytime soon. There's plenty to talk about in the world of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, so let's get on with the show from the Palatial In-N-Out Burger Studios. Wood paneling and all. I got a new, I don't know if you can see it all here. Let me put the camera back up here. I have a new computer. I said that last week. So I have multiple screens. I'm a big boy. But I've added some Final Fantasy memorabilia to the background. Yeah, I could use a green screen, but who needs a green screen when you have scenic wood paneling? You can't green screen that. Yeah, that's right. That's what you're all. Hey, Levantine, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Arrow, for the biddies. Everybody, show us your biddies. Glad you're here. Hey, there's some news. There's game updates. You may have noticed when the game updated a few days ago, if you were an iOS user or if you used an iPhone or iPad, that your game sucked and it was terrible. So bad that I don't want to post my pull video. And there's multiple reasons I don't want to post my pull video, but mostly the frame rate thing. Thankfully, that was quickly updated and our frame rates are back to normal. There's a whole bunch of other news that we're going to talk slide by slide as we go over the SQEX community stream that was just this last Monday. But we do have a new Chocobo panel. Our friend Macnell, DissidiaInfo.com. Check out DissidiaInfo.com. We'll have a wonderful guide if you need to complete that today. But know that you have to bring Rinoa and Lilisette specifically. So Lilisette may be one that you have already used for things. Fight C, thank you. Hey, thanks everybody for the love tonight. We are in a hype train. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody tuning in every Thursday night. It makes it so much more fun, right? So much more fun. So, there's also a couple costumes. We've had them before. Rinoa, fancy dress. Kain, in his Piccolo. I am wearing my Dragon Ball Z shirt, or I guess Dragon Ball Super shirt. So, no King Piccolo on there, though. So, get those. Buy them. Buy them up real good. And some sales coming up we'll talk about in a little bit. But we did have a SQEX community stream this last Monday, which talked about everything that's coming out, including the thing that we already got, which is the hunt. Our daily token foray has been replaced by the daily mark, which is not me, but which is another thing where you have to go in. It's a completely different thing. It's on the quest screen, on the main screen, as a hunt. Every day you can get your mark. You can fight your battle. You just press begin and fight the battle. I don't know if the monsters are going to be changing. As of right now, we've had 3 giant cactuar or giga cactuar or whatever they're called. But it's kind of a similar thing. You log on daily. You fight the fight. You get special tokens. You can use the tokens in the shop. Some of the things in the shop are different, so it's something to be aware of. We'll talk more about that. But the nice thing is you can skip a few days and build up a couple, what do they call them, tickets or marks, so that if you miss a day, it's not the end of the world. You can just go back and do 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. You can hold up to 3 marks, or what are they called? What are they? Permit, 1 hunt permit. So you can hold 3 permits a day, or at a time, excuse me. And so if you miss a few days, have to go out for the weekend, don't have cell phone reception, you're covered. So, Arrow, any thoughts on this change? This is not something that is in Japan, so this is a global exclusive. We're always excited about those. Any thoughts on this change? And do you like it? Don't you like it?
I love it because I am the most, I don't know. I know it's supposed to be so simple to remember to do the daily every day, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I forget the daily all the time, but now it's like almost impossible to. There's a button right there to go to it. And if I do still somehow happen to mess it up, I can go in the next day and be like, crap, I forgot yesterday, and get it out of the way. And I'm not going to miss any more freaking daily tokens. I thought I would love the daily token thing, and I didn't. So I really love this change because now I never will have to worry about missing out anymore.
Moo Meister, which is German for master, says it's been refreshing to fight Gigagantars instead of the old entire dailies where we fought Gigagantars. I agree. It's a nice change of pace. I'm hoping we're going to get some different monsters. Do I know that we are? I don't. Kreese, any thoughts about that?
I mean, in reality, it doesn't change anything. It puts where the Gigantuars are in a new spot on the map, basically, on a new spot on the UI. And you still have to log in daily if you want your daily rewards. So it just makes it so if you forget to do the Gigantuar daily, then you're okay for a couple days. As long as you're still doing something else during the day, I guess. But I was logging in and usually just going straight to the Gigantuar daily as it was, so it wasn't a real big change for me.
Yeah, no, it's not the biggest change in the world, but it is what it is, and changes are good.
Oh, Sipes is mentioning that you can't co-op it anymore, and some of his newbie friends are struggling.
Oh, interesting, Sipes. That is a good observation. Yes, because I remember when I started playing Japan, the Japanese version of the game, I did that in co-op. That level 120 big cactus can create some problems if you are a newer player. So, interesting. So, upsides and downsides to everything. So, hey, Yeah, get some good characters so you can take out that big cactus. I guess you're gonna have to pull. It shouldn't be too hard, obviously. If you picked up Arden, he can solo it. So, but yeah, it can be a struggle for sure. Hey, we'll walk over some of this other stuff. Maybe stopping here if anything tickles your fancy, Arrow or Crease. But we had this raid announced in the two forms. Of course, we talked last week with Black Cloud Strife, Black Nero on YouTube. Check out Black Nero. He's nearing 1,000 subs. So, hey, go check him out and give him a sub on YouTube. Yeah, this is the notorious raid, and we're going to talk more about that. But we did get a attack sticker, Rinoa attack. So I bought it. I didn't buy it. I used my Dissidia points, so that's exciting. We are also in the midst of an FF Portal app campaign. Remember the Portal app? Yeah, that's an app you might have on your phone that you never see or never touch because it is what it is. But you can play Triple Triad. You can download old Final Fantasy games and play them right on that app. So log into that, check your news every day, and we'll get rewards. Everybody that does, thank you. We appreciate it as a community. You checking out the Portal app. Just log on to that once a day, and we'll all gain points, and we'll all get free things. It looks like good crystals. It looks like, what are those things that give the AAs? I forgot what they're called. Armor tokens, power tokens, and mysterious prizes. So, yeah, excellent. We did get announced Kamari's event. His Lost Chapter will be on the 5th with a free multi-draw. Of course, free multis on all of Arden's banners. We're going to get Edward's event, Edward, a new character, on the 9th. We're going to get repeat costumes of Yuna and Noel. And we're going to get character boards for Noel, Palom, Hope, and Kamari. And reworks for Palom as well. So if you're a big Porum and Palom fan, Palom's going to get some character boards and reworks, maybe help him out a little bit. We are going to get the second part. We're in the first part of the Autumn Festival. We're going to get the second part of the Autumn Festival in October 13th. Now, the bad thing about the current raid we're in Japan was you had to do it a whole bunch more than we're going to do it. So what they're doing in Global is they are lowering the requirements. So right now, and we'll talk more about this, but right now you have to do full synergy perfect. You have to do 20 runs of the chaos and 20 runs of the cosmos. In Japan, you would have had to do 50, but you would have also gotten a little bit more rewards. So they're actually going to split the rewards out a little bit to the second part of the Autumn Festival, which will have some additional co-ops, limited time co-ops. I don't think any of them will be chaos co-ops, but perhaps some cosmos co-ops on the 13th and on the 21st. So there'll be another special event co-op on the 13th and another special event co-op on the 21st. And looking at the pictures, they seem to be mannequin based with Bahamut in the first one, Dark Bahamut maybe, and in the second one, the Soul Cage, the Evil Tree. So, yay, another Soul Cage raid. Who didn't want that? Good news. We are going to get the Protagonist draw banner. So October 13th to October 31st, once a day, we will get a free multi-draw featuring all of the 5-star weapons, excluding BTs and LDs, from the Protagonists. So your main 15 characters plus the side game characters, Vincent, Zach, Sarah, Lael, Ramza, Ace, and I'm missing somebody, Yuna. There you go. So all those, the 15 plus those, every single day. So what do you guys think about that? Just Power Stones? Are you missing any of those that you would like to pick up, Arrow?
I am only missing Ace, so I really hope I can get his EX here. I've whipped every time I've tried to get this EX from tickets. So maybe this is finally the time I will get it. Hoping. I like collecting things.
Yeah, I have all of these EXs, but, Power Stones are Power Stones. Crease, any thoughts on this one? Any things you're hoping to pick up in your 18 chances, 18 multi-draws?
I'm only missing Lael and Yuna EX at this point, and I don't care to get either. So they'll be nice to get if I get them, but they're just going to sit in reserve for now.
Very good, very good. We are also going to get Autumn Jumpstart sales. This is going to be a special sale with special chests. Now, one of the chests will just be weapon tokens, armor tokens, and power stones with gems. One of the chests will be book ingots, weapon ingots, armor ingots, power stones, armor tokens, weapon tokens, and gems. And the final two chests will be books and ingots and all the other things with some chocobo feathers. So we don't know how much they're going to be. We don't know what they're going to be including, but those final two chests, in SQEX Joshua's opinion, are very good values. We will see it for ourselves and we will report what we think. But if they have books and ingots, I'm all for it. So we'll see what it is when it is. I know of the three of us, I'm probably the most likely to buy them. So let's talk about something we're all excited about. One of the most anticipated collaborative events in Defo history, the Defo and Dragon Quest of the Stars collaborative event. I'm waiting for the hype in chat.
Yay.
Yay.
So, what we get are some stickers. Yay, stickers. Some little blobby stickers and a mushroom sticker. What they get is an actual event featuring things from our game. So, I feel like maybe we got the worst end of that, but at the other hand, I don't really want Dragon Star or Dragon Quest of the Stars characters in Defo, so I think I'll take my stickers and maybe free gems and stuff, whatever, and enjoy it. Arrow, did you have any? Are you a big fan of Dragon Quest of the Stars? Is that like dancing in the with the stars?
I'm not a big fan. I haven't played a Dragon Quest game in ages. I played it back when it was still Dragon Warrior. And I played Dragon Warrior 1 as like my first RPG when I was like 5. But I think the stickers are really, really cute. So I'm actually excited for the stickers. I know it's sticker hype, but I like collecting things, and stickers are something to collect to me. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
I thought they were cute.
Night is Dark, full of terrors, says I'm really waiting for Ariana Grande and Katy Perry. Of course, a very famous collaborative in Brave Exvius, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, Ariana Grande and Katy Perry. So Taylor Swift, Defo exclusive, 3rd anniversary. Kreese, are you excited about Dragon Quest of the Stars collaborative events?
I didn't know the game existed until now, so no.
It's
not at all.
I did play it. Not my cup of tea. Anyway, if you enjoy it and like it, I'm glad for you. Not my cup of tea. We're going to have another Dimensions End Tier 16. The themes, according to SQEX, they're going to be immune to target lock. Oh, that's sad.
No
Wave
Bosch.
1. Yeah, but Bosch doesn't care about that. Wave 1, weak to holy, resistant to dark. Wave 2, weak to thunder. Advice, HP damage reduction, and HP restoration. So there you go. We'll talk more about that when it gets. We're also going to have another Beat Back Challenge. We're in the midst of a Beat Back Challenge, but there's going to be another one on top of an already new co-op on the 13th of October. We're going to get Intercession of the Wicked, which is going to introduce a new LDBT. Spoilers, it's Kefka. And we're going to get free multi-polls on the Kefka banners as well, the first two. Shadow, Aerith, Seymour, Lise get character boards. There you go. So
just free multi-polls on everything this month.
Yeah, free multi-polls, big cactuses, lots of co-op. You know, that like week and a half, 10 days, we didn't have anything new. We were all complaining. We need more co-op. We got co-op. Plenty of co-op. And rounding out the month, we have the Emperors. LC, he gets his, not his BT yet. His day will come. But he does get his LD nice. And a free multi with that. So all of Arden Cycle, the 4 banners with Arden, they all get a free multi. And all of Kefka Cycle as well get a free multi as well. So very cool. And a new character, new secret character. Could be Mr. Mixaplix from Superman, or who's that alien from the Flintstones? Kind of looks like him. I'm looking at the outline on the slide here. Yeah, Gizmo, is that right? Yeah, the little alien that Fred and Barney palled around with, the fugitive. Why can't I remember his name? Yeah, the Great Gazoo. There you go.
Yes, I knew it was like something with the G.
Yeah, the Flintstones, kids, was a cartoon that existed well before I was born. So don't pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But I still eat those Flintstones vitamins. They are good for you, and they still taste like chalk. I give them to my kids. All right, so that rounds out the month. It is Strago, our favorite mage, the Great Gazoo, Strago himself, coming back, and of course, Realm. Yeah, spoilers. That was data mined information, is Joshua here. That was data mined information. It's obviously Strago. We all knew that, obviously. Oh, yeah. So, hey, there you go. I hope you can hear me. Chris said I was breaking up for you a little bit, so let me know, everybody.
I was only breaking up on Discord end. It should be okay on Twitch end.
Okay, so hopefully you're all hearing me good. So let's get back to the... Hey, so anything else from the stream, Arrow, that you wanted to mention before we move on?
Oh, I overall enjoyed the stream. I like what's come. I wasn't expecting the Daily Mark qual, but I really do appreciate it being there now. So it's my favorite thing from this stream.
Chris, any thoughts about the SQEX community stream before we...
I missed it this week. I was teaching at the time, so I didn't see it live.
Work. What can you do?
Yeah, I know, work.
Well, I have been talking with some of my friends here on Discord about doing my own daily YouTube series, The Daily Mark. So look out for that. Where I just go and do the daily quest every day and record it, and you watch it, and I get money. So it sounds like a really good deal for me. Hey, well, last week we talked about the Act 2 finale, Part 1, The Chosen King's Future. Now, we didn't get into story spoilers, but it's been a week. You have a few days to get kind of the limited rewards, the character board rewards. Arrow, anything you wanted to share about the story? I assume we've all finished the story at this point. Any thoughts about the story?
No Maria, no Lilisette, fail. Anyway, no. In all seriousness, it was. I feel like this chapter is a little weaker than I would have liked, because I like the conflict, with Noctis and Arden. That was okay, but I just couldn't figure out. Like, I didn't understand the Lightning Noctis, I guess, argument. I was just like, I don't know. It just didn't gel with me. I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, man, this feels kind of forced in some way, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Maybe it's because I'm missing something here, because I've never played all of 13. So maybe somebody here that, one of the other hosts who knows more about 13, maybe you can comment what that was all about. But otherwise, I don't know. I'm like, it just felt like the build-up that we had in the previous chapter didn't quite match what I got in this finale, Part 1. So maybe we'll figure out it'll come together better in Part 2.
Like in many Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy 13, you fight and kill God. So just that's
technically
pretty.
You don't. In Final Fantasy 13, you don't kill God.
No.
You kill a creation of God.
That's
frustrated
true.
That God is no longer listening.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. They were created. But so you kill the evil space pope.
You kill God in Final Fantasy 13-3.
Evil space pope win. Oh yeah, that's right. Spoilers, FYI. Hey, Ragnamuni asks, what were you teaching subject-wise? Chris teaches a course on character evaluations for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omni at his local community college. So that is what Chris teaches. He's very good at it. Enjoys it very much. So yeah, Chris, what did you think about the story?
It was okay. It's the same sort of thing it has been for a while. I kind of blitzed through it because, again, it was a long chapter, and you had to do the chapter to get to the chaos, to get to the challenge quest. And I was trying to get to the challenge quest to get that out of the way. So I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It was mostly just a slog because there wasn't much that happened in this chapter. It felt like it was a lot of filler, to me at least.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's it was kind of a big setup for the final battle, and then the final boss joins your team. But yeah, it was, I thought the previous chapter was much more interesting, much more thoughtful. But again, this is kind of the hurrah up to the final battle. But spoilers, it's not the final battle. There's another. I mean, you could have figured that out because it's called Finale Part 1, not finale. Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's a fair assessment. But I mean, it was fine. Yeah, filler episode. It's just like an anime. Now, I don't know that it's filler, but I mean, there was a lot of story that was filler just to get to the last fight, which was really the story, right? We kind of ended off the last chapter ready for the fight, and then it took an entire part of a chapter to get to the fight. So, and I mean, that's pretty much all the story advancement there. Noctis finding himself, I guess that's fine. That was good.
There was the story advancement early on.
Yeah, right.
With Noctis and Prompto getting their memories back. There was a little bit of the revelation on the interactions of Arden, how he was manipulating the villains.
Yeah.
And then there was the final encounter with Arden, and those were really the three things.
Yeah, not nearly as introspective or interesting as the previous chapter story-wise, but it did what it needed to do, and the next chapter will finish off this arc. So exciting. But we won't get that next month. We'll get that in November. A little Thanksgiving celebration. So we did have a chaos fight. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Chris.
No, that was it. Sorry.
Oh, we did have a chaos fight that we didn't talk about last week, and we do have a TCC challenge that we're going to talk about today with that. But the first wave was a two-wave fight. The first wave was 3 mannequins with Lightning, Noctis, and Locke. Noctis specifically has his Armiger recast, his EX ability. So he can use his EX ability, which can be obviously very painful to take. Besides that, Lightning can get some fast turn rate up. Locke can do his AoE HP attack and some healing, and then he gets all of his stuff. But mostly, this is not a terrifying wave. You just have to manage all 3 of the mannequins. Look out for Noctis's recast ability, and look out for Locke's AoE ability.
I think Noctis has noticeably more health than the other 2.
Yeah, that
I might be mistaken about that.
That I don't remember, but I tried to focus on him first, so maybe that's why. But the second wave is Afreet. You remember Afreet because you beat him up 500 times during summon boards. It's that Afreet, the Chaos version, with a little bit of a difference. He is not weak to ice compared to his ultimate summon Afreet, and he is doubly resistant to magic. Thankfully, we have a lot more powerful characters than we did back there. He, of course, has his AoE HP attack, Hellfire, the recast ability. Gives him a big boost in Brave, and then applies Scorch to the field, which causes HP damage, Brave damage consistently every turn. You take Brave damage, not HP. So it's kind of a Brave poison effect on the field. That's a pain in the butt. I did not find this particularly challenging. We had Arden, of course, with that. We also had, for this particular challenge quest, we had Arden, Maria, and Lilisette. That was our only options. Now remember, this is a global exclusive chaos fight. Japan did not have this chaos fight. They did have the raids where you got to bring all 6 characters, but they did not have this particular CQ. But that being said, I was able to bring Arden LD, no burst, Maria 0 out of 3 EX, and Lilisette 1 out of 3. And I know some people did even simpler runs. I know Arrow did a run with Arden 0 out of 3 EX, right, Arrow?
Yes, sir, with the LD.
Yeah, you had the LD, but Arden's EX is not fully purple. But your Maria is fully purple.
Yes, and she was the only one with the character boards, too.
Yeah, Arrow, do you remember anything specifically on this fight worth mentioning?
Keep Lilisette's debuffs up. They help like a ton, especially in Wave 2. Especially in Wave 2.
Yeah, she really does help. I did not find Wave 2 particularly challenging. I felt Wave 1 was a little bit more challenging. I know others disagree with me that the Afar was much more challenging. But, it was not the most difficult of the challenge quests if you had Arden, obviously. If you're just doing this regular gas, you have lots of options. Bosch, at this point, pretty much neuters everything that we've had. I don't think Bosch has been resisted anything since he's come out, has he? Even if you're immune to lock, which we're going to get in the tier 16 of Dimensions End Entropy, he still absorbs those AoE HP attacks, so not that big of a deal. But to this point, pretty much Bosch can carry you through everything. Not the challenge.
This challenge quest is basically, do you have Arden LD? If yes, you're golden. If you do not, well, you're going to struggle. Because you only have 3 options for it. You have to bring Arden, you have to bring Maria, and you have to bring Lilisette.
Yeah, 100%.
So this is the most restrictive party-wise, but it also is the easiest if you have Arden.
Yeah, this is the most restrictive challenge quest we have had because it only allows you to have 3 total characters. But it's not necessarily the most difficult. I was going to see if there was any no Arden LD runs here on the Call to Arms. There is there is. Okay, so let me see here. Adam. I don't know Adam. But Adam did Arden EX 3/3, Maria 0 out of 3, and Lilisette EX only. So, God bless you, Adam. I'm sure it's not fun, but it is possible to do it without the LD. But definitely, I mean, you have 3 characters. You have to pull on the banner, right? To have a chance to do it. So don't sweat it if you didn't pull on the banner and you're gonna skip. You'll live. It's one token.
I gotta say though, at least they are starting to give us real teams. It feels like overall when we do these challenge quests, since that whole debacle or whatever you want to say over Odin, I don't know, man. What was up with that? I guess people must have been pretty upset on the JP side, and they must have adjusted some things because it's been a lot more tolerable since that whole crap.
Yeah, I felt like Maria, Lilisette, and Arden had some good synergy. There's in this current event, the 6 options, there's some good synergy there. So yeah, I mean, I would prefer to have a team that has good synergy. Thankfully, they get the synergy boosts, so that's helpful. That being said, it's not perfect synergy. You can make better synergy than the devs certainly have. Won't give them too much credit, but yeah. Yeah, and Moomeister is saying Arden gets synergy for the 5 CQs, so he is really a good investment. I mean, that is 5. If you get Arden's LD, you're likely going to be able to complete 5 quests, 5 challenge quests. So definitely if you get his BT, you're going to be able to do 5 challenge quests. He's a little harder to play LD only, but he is amazing still LD only. We did have a TCC challenge. The TCC challenge for the Chosen King's Future Chaos event banned the synergy characters, Eldnarsh, Bosch. I think that's 9. The boys from Type 0 all look the same to me. Noctis, Kais, Desh. Desh is in this game, yeah. Rayjin, Garnet, Afmal, and Machina. Of course, no burst mode, and the bans also apply to friends, and also banned the synergy Arden, Maria, and Lilisette. The Extreme. This one was fun. Same bans applied. No friend unit. Had to bring Chocobo or Spirit Moogle. And your team must not have any characters with mannequin versions already in the game. So do you got what that means? If the character has a mannequin in the story, you could not bring them. How fun is that? It's a little crazy. Thankfully, you go to DecidiaInfo.com, and here's the list of characters who currently have mannequin games as far as we could find them. So, Alizé, Alphanaut, Amidatillion, Aphmau, Aranea, Arciella, Arden, of course, he's banned, Barrett, Beatrix, Caius, Karen, Cloud of Darkness, Eldnarsh, Emperor, Eldnarsh and Desh were banned, Exdeath, Fang, Freya, Gabranth, Gao, General Leo, Gilgamesh, Iggy, Jack, Camlanot, Kais, he's banned, Kamari, Landon Rain, Leon, Lion, Lulu, Lise, 9 is banned, Noel, Pain, Porum, Kistis, Realm, Rinoa, she would not be with her LD, Rosa, Rydia, Charlotta, Trey, Ultimisha, Vane, and Yuri. So those were your options. So it was just a fun thing to try to do, and we enjoyed looking up to see which one of those actually had it.
TCC Challenge and Extreme were all Macnell's idea, by the way.
Yeah, we blame Macnell. Support DecidiaInfo.com. I thought it was a fun idea, and some other people did too.
It's a really cool idea.
Here are your TCC Challenge and TCC Challenge Extreme winners. I saw Pikachu on earlier, so of course the Dystopia group, many of them are big fans of the TCC Extreme Challenge, and so many others. So I see Free to Play Doctor, he had there twice. But Ultima, did I see Ultima on here earlier as well? So, hey, if you want to do it, hey, you can still get on there and get on TCC on the Call to Arms. Remember, if you want to take part in the TCC Challenge, you can come on our Discord. You can follow DecidiaInfo.com. You can check on DecidiaInfo.com. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook. We share all those. Then you go on to DecidiaInfo.com. Submit your run, your video run, and that goes, and we try to shout you out. So good job, everybody. Congratulations, and we'll work on some potential Planescourger Sephiroth TCC Challenge. Probably won't do one for both of the Chaos fights, but maybe one of them, maybe the harder one. All right, well, that does bring us to the big topic tonight, which is the raid event, Despair from the Abyss. But before we talk about Despair, we have to talk about our little friend, Rinoa from Final Fantasy VIII. My favorite character in the franchise. I was very excited to spend 70,000 gems to pity her LD. Kreese also did. Kreese.
Yep. I also spent 70,000 gems pitying the LD.
It's the things we do for the people we love. I know Arrow didn't because she hates Rinoa, but before we talk about that, Rinoa got a rework and an LD. Kreese, can you walk us through what she got?
Sure. So Rinoa got a pretty sizable rework along with her LD. And the way her rework changed her base kit is that it's kind of changed her from being a stance-based character that was designed to go from self-healing herself and being a more supporty character and being a fully offensive mage to being a character that's now a party support character in one stance with party healing, party brave regen, to a character that's full-on offensive magic. Which is pretty cool. So the way it works now is her skill 1, Angelo Cannon, now instead of just healing her, now heals the party based on damage dealt and does more brave hits and more overflow, which is nice. Angelo Recover still only gives her a brave excuse me, only gives her brave regen and HP regen. But it does provide a party aura. So while she's in Angelo Recover mode, she's providing the party better benefits for attack and max brave. While she's in Angel Wing stance, she's getting... Oh, sorry. Let me finish the Angelo Recover thing. I should have mentioned that first. Both her Brave Plus batteries the party based on her attack, and her HP Plus batteries her allies based on damage dealt now. Angel Wing stance now does a lot more Brave hits with Brave Plus and HP Plus. Brave Plus now is an HP dump and gives her Brave back based on the HP damage dealt. And HP Plus is still basically the same, just a lot more Brave hits, so she's a lot more likely to cap on that. The biggest change, however, is that she now has Wishing Star, her LD. She has 3 uses of it. It's a Brave, AoE Brave attack followed by a single target HP attack that deals splash damage at the end. It puts her in Angelo Recover stance and dispels Angel Wing when she does it, and she gets a new buff called Pet's Warmth. Pet's Warmth is the big thing that transforms her kit. It does 2 things. 1, it gives her an increase for her Stolen Brave Overflow, gives her a small increase for magic attack. It turns all of her abilities into magic type attacks, so she no longer has to shift between ranged and magic attacks. Everything's now magic, so she doesn't have to worry about the type mixing. And she also gives her whole party Brave regen and HP regen. So this is how she becomes the more party support unit. So now she's always providing herself and her party with Brave regen and HP regen. She's always providing some auras, but she provides better auras while she's in Angelo Recovery mode. And she provides massive damage while she's in Angel Wing stance. So that's basically how she works. If you need to provide more party support, battery, more auras, you go into Angelo Recover. If you need to dish out damage, you go to Angel Wing. Her EX still works the same way it did before. You want to activate it while she's in Angelo Recover mode, so she gets the Seething Power buff, which gives her just more Brave regen and a better in Brave stat. And it's just a big damage dump and an Angel Wing activator. So that's Rinoa in a nutshell. Big things with her is that she's still squishy as all hell, especially when she's in Angel Wing stance. If she takes a hit, she's going to take a lot of damage. She can be broken easily. And she drops health still. This isn't as big an issue as it used to be because she does have that constant HP regen from Pet's Warmth, but be careful, it can catch up on her. And if she's taking trickling HP damage, like she can during this fight, she can get suddenly one shot if she's still low on health from her HP dumps from Angel Wing. So I think that's it for her, how her kit now works. I've been experimenting with her, obviously, since her LD dropped and she got her rework a couple days ago. She's a lot stronger now, so that's kind of how you'd expect it. She does have the advantage where she does provide auras that don't take party buff slots. She fills a lot of party buffs on her own, though. She takes 5 buff slots on her own. 2 of them are generic, 3 are framed. So she doesn't play great with party buffers. Keep that in mind. She has to be careful working with units like Saz or Pinello. She won't, or Hope. She will not work well with them. She wants auras. She does not want party buffs. And she also, again, is very squishy. She only really does single target Brave Shave. The only AoE Brave Shave she has is from Wishing Star and Angel Wing Meteor, and she wants to save her Wishing Stars for when she needs to refresh Pet's Warmth. She does not want to use that frivolously, and Angel Wing Meteor is a slow recharge EX. So I think that's everything. Did I miss anything, Mark?
No,
that you can think.
No, that's a good overview of her kit. Let me answer a couple questions about how to play her and some tips and tricks there. You can start with her LD. Now, she only has 3 uses of her LD, but her LD buff is 16 turns, and she's not a particularly fast character. So that, I mean, even in these chaoses, I've rarely had to refresh the LD buff. I mean, that's compared to a lot of other characters, especially Arden. She's not real fast. So you can probably use the LD a little bit more liberally than you would like to. But yes, assuming she's fully boarded, fully EX, she starts with Angelo Recover buff. So you can start with LD and immediately go into EX. And her EX charge the first time fairly slow. So it's nice to be able to start out with the EX and then kind of stay in Angel Wing and then go back to Angelo Recover and play that from how you how you need to do it depending on the situation. Personally, I would like to. I like to play her with a tank, so you don't have to worry about using Brave and everything else. But with her new attacks, with her new Brave pluses, she gets good Brave recovering, is a little bit easier to keep alive. But she just pairs really well with a tank, and especially a tank that gives her auras like Bosch. Her and Bosch are real good friends. And with another, another attacker would be good. But yeah, I really like her now kind of hybrid attack support with her HP regen. If you're looking for a wonderful sphere for Renault, I have her sphere on her A sphere. She heals so much better than she ever used to with her HP regen and Angelo recover healing more, that she bumps her own A sphere, because her A sphere is attack and max Brave 10% when HP is less than 80% of max. So she breaks her own sphere off several times a game, which is fine because she goes below 80% again. But Garnett's sphere, which is every time you recover HP, you recover your own HP, you get an attack boost by 10% for 6 turns. That sphere is wonderful. I think Maria's sphere is also good on her, but Irving's sphere, it would be great between LD uses if her attacks were ranged like they used to be. So all of her attacks are magic now, correct? There's no ranged attacks in her kit.
As long as you activate her LD buff, yes.
Yes, when her LD buff is active, everything is yes. X Death is where Irving's sphere belongs. I believe Irving's sphere is on Noctis in my game, so I don't know what all you are talking about. Prove it. Oh, you can't live some things down, I guess, but. Yes, I am the expert of spheres. But seriously, believe me, Garnett's sphere is really good on Rinoa. And I have her fully sphered. I don't who did I use as a D sphere? She's got a D sphere. I did give her a D sphere, I think, as well. But yeah. So very good. So very good. Arrow, are you ready to take a dump all over my best lady?
Not too much. Okay, we're going to ignore the fact I'm not a fan of the character, which I don't want to go too much into detail because, people really are a fan for this character. And I just want to say the kid is very good. It kind of reminds me of now that she's a stance character, it kind of follows in the same vein as Onion Knight or the character she actually was synergy with a couple months back, Arciella, So now you got this support sided stance and then this aggressive sided stance. And I think if you're gonna play her, you can't. She's not one of those you can just press buttons and she'll be fine. You kind of have to think a little bit what you need in a moment and capitalize on that. So when you're swapping their stances, you got to be thinking a little bit there and making sure you're not gonna get yourself killed if you go into Angel Wing and. You need to start going and doing some damage or whatever. And the other thing is you can't just keep flip-flopping. You can't just, with Onion Knight, how you can kind of just keep switching between stances. She has a lot more or a lot less Angel Wing stance button that you can press. You have to either do that or go into her EX to get it. So those are some things to think about. Otherwise, this is a pretty good rework. I can't really say it's bad. If this is one of your favorite characters, which for some people it is, you really aren't going to be disappointed here.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. Mino says she sucks. You don't have to worry about getting her into Angelo stance if you have her fully maxed out, because she does start with that. So you can go right from LD to EX and get all the full benefits without a problem. But yeah, then you need to jump back to Angelo's stance, which is fine because Angelo's stance is a lot better than it used to be. So in terms of pulling on this banner, is this the best banner to pull on? It's a great banner to pull on if you're still chasing Arden's BT and you didn't get it. This is a good banner.
A good character.
Alphanaw, if you haven't ever picked him up, still very, very workable. So it's a decent banner. She's a good mage DPS with a little bit of support now, but obviously very skippable. We're going to get a whole bunch of other mages. Kain is as well here.
A character.
He is good as well. But this would be when he originally came out, right? We already got his rework though, so if you've wanted him, you probably already had it. So, but he is good as well. So all three of these characters, Rinoa, Elfnaw, and Kain are all very usable. But again, if you already got all of Arden's kit and you're not really concerned about anything else, or if you really want to pull on Edward or Kimari, certainly you can do that before you pull on this. Or if you just want to skip this cycle, because there's other mages coming up that you're more interested in, like Emperor, like Kefka, like Strago, who all do different things, but they're not. How many chaos co-ops have you done already? Quite a few. Not too many, but a few. And we may do one here on stream. Kreese, any final thoughts on Rinoa or this banner before I share the podcast polls?
I think Rinoa is a pretty fun character to use now. I've always liked using Rinoa. She's just had her quirks about her. This rework really helped fix those issues, I felt, and the LD was a nice little boost to her kit to give her some added party benefits and help her out. So I like what they did to fix her up. I'm happy with her kit now. I'll see how much I can use her going forward.
Yeah, me too. Obviously she's a favorite character of mine, so I've always pulled on her and always had her gear and always used her. And mine is fully maxed out and ready to go, so I will continue to use her. Across the 12 servers on Discord for the podcast polls, remember, if you have a Discord that you would like to add the podcast polls to, you can just add MateriaBot. You can let Quetzalma know. Quetzalma, our good friend and creator of MateriaBot, and you can support Quetz on Patreon as well, as the Tonberry Troop and Decida Info Macno. All three have Patreons. The Crystal Chronicle does not, so you can't support us, but you can always support us on Twitch, and we appreciate all the subs on YouTube and views on YouTube, and that kind of stuff helps as well. But among the 12 servers for this particular banner, 55 were skipping, 118 using tickets, only 12 using gems. Of course, everyone did the full free bowl. 29 pitying Rinoa's LD, and 1 pitying Arden's burst on this banner. So hopefully you didn't have to do that, but from what I have seen and heard, a lot of people did have to spend a lot of resources to get Rinoa LD. So hopefully you have some things you can save on moving forward, so it's not too bad. But that's not all, because there's 2 chaoses, 2 challenge quests, 2 co-ops, actually a lot of different co-ops, but 2 different battles in co-op. And it's something. Yeah. We have a beatback challenge. So remember, if you are not familiar, if you're newer to the game and have not lived through this in the past, instead of doing co-ops to get tokens to use in a shop, you need to add to the collective co-ops to beat the bosses and get global rewards. But we also get individual rewards. There are 2 different fights. There is Gathering Despair from Afar, which is X-Death and Planescourger. There is Gathering Despair Nearby, which is Sephiroth and Planescourger. The first one has a Cosmos co-op that if you want to do it full synergy, perfect score, you need to run 20 times to get all of the rewards, which are higher power orb and guard orb and some tickets. The Gathering Despair Nearby, the Sephiroth fight, you have to do Chaos. This is our first Chaos co-op, and you need to do that full synergy, perfect, no deaths, no damage, cap, all that kind of stuff. 20 times. Now in Japan, it was 50 times to get more rewards, but to get all of the rewards. We only have to do it 20 times, but we're getting less rewards, but a considerable amount of tickets are on this. So you don't have to do it, You can do it just a few times. You need to do the Cosmos co-op twice a day for 5 days to get all of the special daily rewards. So I think we're on day 2 of that here on Thursday. But there isn't anything like that for the Chaos, I don't believe. Maybe there is, correct me if I'm wrong. But to get all of the rewards, you need 10 million points. And you get 500,000 points on the Chaos every time you do it, if you do it perfect. It takes a while. These guys have a lot of HP. They are HP sponges. And it can be frustrating. I believe Inkwelder from the Tonberry Troop, tonberrytroop.com. Check out their Renault infographic. I did a wonderful job on that. But I believe Inkwelder has gotten the fight down to 10 minutes with Arden, LDBT, Maria, and Kain. So that's co-op. That's not solo. And fully geared, fully playable characters. So yeah, it's yeah. So even if you do it really well with a group of people that are really good, 10 minutes. If you just randomly co-op, you might die and not get any points. Actually, I think you do get some points if you die. I think if your total party wipes, I think you still get some points, which is nice. Throws a bone every once in a while. The Cosmos, fairly easy. The other co-op. How do you want to do this, Crease? Do you just kind of want to talk about the event generally first? Let's do that.
Yeah,
we can talk about specific fights. So, Arrow, what are your thoughts about kind of the overall Beatback Challenge, Raid, all these Chaos co-ops thus far? We've only had it for a day or so, but what are your feelings so far?
Cosmos co-op was really fun and really fast. I enjoyed it. But this Chaos co-op, people tune out constantly in it. And it's getting stressful to do it just because you got to hope that the people you get paired with are going to want to do it and actually pay attention the whole way through.
Yeah, and there are, so, the initial team that I brought for the Chaos and Challenge Quest in the harder fight was Alphanal, Rinoa, and Arden LD. I don't have his burst. If you have his burst, who cares? You're going to win. That's a fine team, and I was able to beat it without much of an issue. The problem is, Alphanal, you don't want him to get broken. Rinoa can get real low on HP and die if you're not careful. And Arden is fine. He's not going to be a problem. But, if you're not paying attention, he can lose his buffs. He can lose his Fedora stacks. So apparently they're not called that, but that's what we're going to call him forever. So you really do have to pay attention to what you're doing. So it takes some time. And if you've ever played co-op, not everyone pays attention to what they're doing all the time, and not everyone really knows how to play the characters particularly well. So it can be challenging, obviously, if you're going with random. Obviously, you can join our Discord. You can go into a co-op room and get 3 very skilled people together and do it very quickly, have a lot of fun, get on a voice chat even. It's not going to be a problem. But if you're doing randomly, a little bit more hard. Personally, I think my approach to the Chaos, the Cosmos, whatever, that's fine. The Chaos fights, I think I'm just going to bring Bosch and 2 other synergy characters. You get 375,000. Bosch makes this a joke. You don't have to think about it. You can run it while you're, eating breakfast, watching TV, without paying attention to it. And you only have to run it 6 more times. So 26 times. Where you don't have to pay attention versus 20 times where you really have to stare at the screen for 15 minutes. I'll take that. So that's my approach. To each your own. The best thing would be to get a group of people and do it, a couple times a day, or once a day for a few days. Crease, what are your thoughts on all this?
I have not tried the Chaos co-op yet because I was working all day. I only got a chance to complete that Chaos right before we started recording today. So I have not had the fun of doing it, but I have 3 purples that are synergy for this, so I'm planning to just solo it the whole way through. It will be a slog. I'm going to stretch it out throughout the whole 2 weeks we have to do it, though. I'll do 1 or 2 a day and see how it'll go. Again, soloing is how I'm planning to do this. Sorry, you won't see me in co-op rooms with this. It's just doing it solo, doing the regular solo is like a 15-minute ordeal. I'm not going to do that with other people. The Cosmos was pretty straightforward. I was fine doing that with other people.
Some Call Me Brian 22 asks, if they don't know how to use the character, then how did they get to clear the normal chaos? Well, remember, Brian, you can gem revive and unlock the co-op. And some people are saying, if you have 3 Ardens in co-op, it shouldn't be a problem. 3 Ardens, especially with 3 Ardens with 3 BTs and 3 summons, it's not going to be hard. But somebody can make a mistake. I've seen Ardens lose that LD buff and die. It can happen. People misjudge the instant turn rates, the turn rate ups, and it's gone. Thankfully, I've seen Ardens lose their Fedora stacks. It's not great, but hopefully it's not a problem. Obviously, safer to play with a group of people that you can talk to, plan, or just do it yourself. But good luck to all of you. Let's talk about these fights specifically a little bit. They're very similar fights with some different mechanics, but basically just 2 differences. The first fight is X-Death and the Planescourger. They both have AoE HP attacks. Remember that X-Death has an attack which absorbs the current Brave and then does an AoE HP attack. So if you gain a whole bunch of Brave to protect yourself against that AoE HP attack, X-Death's going to absorb it all and kill you. Similarly, the Planescourger has an ability that doesn't do a lot of Brave damage, but is a big Brave gain. And of course, Sephiroth has similar abilities there too. But
Black Materia, yeah.
Yeah, Black Materia as well. So that is a pretty standard kind of theme of this, that the bosses will be able to do that. So people are saying, don't bring books for this fight. And if you do bring a book, like a ×3 book on the Chaos fight, you can get like 60 of each artifact. So your artifact slots will fill up like in one run. So if you really want artifact farming, this is going to be easy for you.
I'm capped on those Idoga artifact tokens, so I have plenty of those to use as fodder.
Yeah, so be careful. I would not suggest using. I've been using 2 times books every once in a while, but yeah. You can, especially if you have good artifacts for all these characters. I don't think I have perfect arts for Rinoa or Arden yet, but yeah, you're going in. The second fight is Sephiroth and Plains. I mean, the Planescourger's pretty much the same, I think, between the 2 fights, and we've fought him a lot of times. But of course,
I think the Planescourger is identical between the 2.
Sephiroth
It's AIC the same.
Sephiroth has his in-game abilities. He can do Fervent Blow, which does a ton of Brave damage. He can do Octaslash, which does Brave damage and then HP attack. He can do Materia, which does the set your Brave to 0. He does that other attack which sets your Brave to 1, and then
Heartless Angel.
Yeah, Heartless Angels. Thank you. Which we don't have that ability in the game yet.
Sephiroth will only use Octaslash if he is unbroken, is what I've noticed.
Right. The other issue with these 2 fights, because they are similar, the enemies have a lot of HP. They are HP sponges. And they get significant Brave damage reduction under 50% health. Or under 80% health. What is it? Anyway.
It's under 80 and 50.
Yeah. So under 50% health and under 80% health, they get Brave damage reduction, but they get up to 50% Brave damage reduction, I believe. That's the number I was thinking of. So once you get into that last 20% of their health, they are getting a 50% Brave damage reduction, which is significantly more than we've seen in most of our fights. I think we may have seen that once before, but so it just takes a while. You can manage it pretty well, but if you're not paying attention, they can get a turn rate up, they can kill you. If you're not paying attention, you can get broken, they can kill you. If you're not paying attention, they just kind of keep on ticking, and that last little bit of health is really tough. So the nice thing about not doing it solo, of course, is you get more opportunity for 3 bursts phases and 3 summon phases, which can really save your butt in a lot of different ways. Arrow, anything particular about these fights that you wanted to talk about?
It's really hard to predict the high turn rate things. Like sometimes it doesn't really matter that they did it, and other times they'll just jump like a gazillion turns. That drove me nuts when doing the fights, the challenge quest fights. But their patterns, I think they kind of do have one. I haven't studied it, and I'm sure Magnol will probably do a much better job explaining it in his guides than I will. But it feels like the Plane Scourger goes through a rotation, and then there's kind of a rough rotation for the other two, for Sephiroth and for X-Death. But I honestly couldn't tell you the exact order of everything. I'm sorry, guys.
I know I've Blast Wave has caught me off guard a couple times from the Plane Scourger. It's never killed me outright, except for maybe one time when I looked away and then Renault was dead. But anytime I was paying attention, I have not seen it just surprise kill me.
Yeah, so Magnol is clearing this up for us. The Brave damage reduction on the Chaos fight is 50% Brave damage reduction at 80% health and 75% Brave damage reduction on 50% health. So that's much worse than what I said. That is credits to Rem at DecidiaDB.com. We appreciate all the work Rem does. So yes. So they get a 50% braver damage reduction at 80% health and 75% braver damage reduction at 50% health. So that sucks a lot. Yeah, it's not. That's not additive in terms of it's not 50 plus 75. It's just 50, and then it becomes 75, I believe. Yeah. Kreese, any other thoughts on this?
The big thing you got to watch out for is watching out for letting your characters get broken, especially by the Plane Scourger. While usually it's not dangerous, it does have a couple abilities. For example, as I said, that one ability that's high turn rate on its own, it becomes even higher turn rate if it breaks someone or attacks someone with break. It has another ability, I'm trying to remember what it's called, let me look it up quickly, that becomes high turn rate if it breaks someone. So that's even nastier, and you got to watch out for that. It is Energy Shot becomes high turn rate with break. So both of those are pretty mean. And that allows a Plane Scourger to potentially get in a kill shot if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, Strafe is...
two things with the Plane Scourger especially, regardless on which Chaos fight you're doing.
There's a lot of talk about who you should kill first, and it seems like many of our folks here in chat are saying Sephiroth probably should be the target because of all of his different abilities, even though the Plane Scourger has some bigger attacks. Sephiroth has a lot of different things in his arsenal that are a little harder to anticipate. And our friend Strafe, you can check out Strafe on YouTube and in our Discord, says Lilisette is amazing in the second half of the fight paired with Rinoa. So with the brave reduction. So good tip there. I think actually all 6 of these characters are pretty viable in this fight. Some of them pair well with others a little bit better, but at the end of the day, all 6 of them are fairly viable characters. So that's nice. It's nice that there's not just a little bit, a little bit, one or two that just don't do anything. Most of them can work if they're working together. But again, Magnol's going to do guides to this. We're all going to have a lot of time with this. If you're struggling, please come on our Discord. We will get you through the co-op. You don't have to sweat all of, 10 million points. If that's too much for you, do as much as you can and then play Genshin Impact for a while, right? That's what I'm going to be doing. do a couple co-ops, play some Genshin. Couple co-ops, play some Genshin. Take a walk, I'm going to go see Star Wars Empire Strikes Back tomorrow. I hear it's a good film. No spoilers. If you've seen it. But
are
good
theaters
luck.
open where you are, or is it some like special private screening?
No, theaters are open very restrictively. Yeah, one showing per one showing per theater per day, 40% capacity, spaced out, reserve tickets, wear masks, So I was hesitant. This is more post-show conversation, but anyway, we'll talk more about that, I think, in the post-show. All right. Well, again, Discord, we'll hook you up. We'll get some people there, can help you do this. No problem. Yeah. Host discussion. Anything we want to talk about today, Kreese? Resfoina, thank you for the subscription. This is a very... Resfoina. Hold on a second. I gotta find where I am. Resfoina. This is a very special episode. I know this is a hard time for all of us because of all the resources we spent on this lady right here. So we're having a pity party. I know. I watched your video. I know the pain. Kreese and I both pitied. Arrow didn't even touch the matter because she hates Renault. She hates this lady right here very much.
It's a special episode because two of the co-hosts pitied the LD. Yeah. For those keeping track, I pitied BT and then I pitied an LD back to back.
So yeah, you remember? I'm going to say this because like all of you are younger than I am. Are we giving away $10 gift cards? Maybe. Keep listening. You never know. It might happen. If you watch sitcoms growing up, there was always that like today's episode of Small Wonder. It's a very special episode. Today's episode of Saved by the Bell. It's a very special episode. So I was just trying to get some hype, get to people watch the show. This is a very special episode of the Crystal Chronicles. So.
Okay.
Isn't every episode a special episode of the Crystal Chronicles? Yes, it is. Thank you, Kreese. What questions can we answer for the people? Sure.
Hope Starter wants to know in our free time off stream if we watch JP DFFOO content to know about future material that ahead of time for GL release. I can answer first. I am vaguely aware of what happens on the Japanese end of the game, but I don't actively seek out JP content at all. So I watch the JP news and topic chat channels a little bit, and Black Cloud will usually give me info if I ask specifically for it, but no, I do not specifically seek it out myself. Arrow?
No, not really anymore. I used to more back before we had Chaos, but ever since we've had Chaos, I don't often, but there are a couple of like JP players I do follow on YouTube, and I will watch their content from time to time just because, I like supporting people I like watching.
Summon Biscuits. I've met Principal Spelling and Screech, the actors who played them. Nice guys. Anyway, I surround myself with people who play Japanese, the Japanese version of the game, and I listen to them. And I also watch that weird variety show that they do every month instead of they don't have like a mobile stream like we do. Joshua and Glacy do a wonderful job. Thanks to our community reps. They have like a weird variety show with these two ladies and this creepy guy. And I don't know what the hell is going on. So I watch that. I don't watch it subtitled. I like to hear it in the original language. So I have no idea what's going on ever when I watch that, but it's a good time. It's a trip, that's for sure. And yeah, I follow the JP News and the JP Twitter, but I don't really dig around for runs, in the JP version of the game very much. But every once in a while, if I'm interested in a character or something, I might go check out stuff. So not often.
Okay. VL asks, knowing what LD and units are coming thanks to JP Foresight, which LD does the host look forward to pulling, whether it be a good or bad LD? The next LD I think I'm most looking forward to is Kuja LD, just because Kuja's a favorite of mine and I know he's coming very soon. So I'll just put him on the list of upcoming LDs I'm excited for. Arrow?
I mean, period, obviously, but I mean, before that,
it's like 6 months from now.
Yeah, that's a bit far. So,
that's January.
I kind of want Kurosame. I think that might be the next big one. Even though I'm pulling for Kimari on Sunday, that one's more of like I think he'd be interesting, but I'm more hyped for something like Kurosame.
Well, I am going to be using gems on Warrior of Lights LD and Kurosame and Kuja and Gladio. So there you go. And I haven't decided on Lightning yet, but probably on Lightning and Sephiroth and Cloud and Beatrix. Yeah, it's a lot of gem pulls coming up. I do plan ahead for that, but not as much as I used to. It's a little bit more fluid than it used to be. Next question.
C asks, what would you do to fix the Final Fantasy X cast, whether through reworks, LDs, etc.? I'd give them Riku. That'd fix all their problems.
I'd fire the person who's in charge of Final Fantasy X, or they probably already did. I'd hire someone to work on Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X. I'd give Yuna a BT, and she needs an LD. So she has Valifor as her EX. So I would make her LD Ixion and her Burst Bahamut. And I would love the game forever if they did that.
How would that work, though?
How it would work in my mind, and it would be great. That's how it would work.
So
Grace.
What would happen is she'd use her EX, she'd get Valifor, but then she'd use her LD, and that would overwrite Valifor with Ixion.
If you know how Yuna works, who cares about her skills? They're not important. Once you get Valifor, that's all that matters, right? So once you hit her LD, she'll get Ixion. So it's going to be like a progression. You start with the EX, you use Valifor for a while, then you summon Ixion, you use Ixion for a while. When you're ready to kind of finish things off, then you use Bahamut. So, yeah. Is 9 a tank? Shut up. Your mom's a tank. What do you think of that, Mino Spellgood? Oh. Grace. Arrow, what would you do to fix Final Fantasy X?
Give Yuna her LD, and give some more of these characters LDs and BTs. Like, seriously, I think Kimari is one of the only ones. Finally give Seymour or Seymour, however you want to say it, or Jack their BT, because clearly, which one are they going to pick as the representative? I think everybody wants to know. That would be something everybody would love to have answered. So I'm going to go with that as my thing, because everybody loves villains apparently, but me. So let's just give the people what they want, Riku, and pick a BT finally for the villains in FF10.
All right. Good job, everybody. Appreciate that.
We got a couple more questions we can quickly answer.
Hey, we got a few minutes. Let's answer some questions before we get ready for...
And these will be quick ones to answer. Black Cloud asks, was this raid, the Chaos and Chaos co-op, overhyped? I'll let Mark go first, then we'll do Arrow, then myself.
Was it overhyped? Black Cloud's with us. Black Cloud, Black Nero on YouTube. Overhyped, we were worried about it too much, or we were too excited about it. What do you mean overhyped specifically?
I think he means overhyped in how frustrating and difficult and a slog it'll be.
Oh no, I feel like it was rightly. I feel like that the hype for the frustration, even though we got a lowered requirement. I think doing this 20-25 times is still going to be a pain in the butt. As someone who really doesn't enjoy doing a lot of co-op, I like co-op a little bit, but to do intense co-op, let me give you an example. So for the challenge quest, for both challenge quests, I have Arden LD, I have Rinoa LD, I have Alphanol fully EX, purple, all that kind of stuff. Character boards, summon boards, all that. All that taken care of, right? Those fights are fine. They're a little challenging. You have to pay attention to make sure Alphanau doesn't get broken, Renault doesn't get killed, Arden's got all this stuff. So you got to pay attention, and that's fine for a difficult fight. I want to have to think. I want to have to plan. I want to have to maneuver. That's not a problem. Takes 20 minutes, some strategy. That's great. That's part of the game I really enjoy. Having to do the exact same fight 20 times like that, it's less enjoyable every time you do it. Trying to go in and do it with random other people on the internet, less enjoyable. Doing it with your friends, that is fun, doing it with people. But, I don't always have time to sit down with my computer like I am right now and, get a group of people together and kind of think about how we're going to do that. This is friend. What are friends? This is a player versus computer, player versus, a PvE game. So I generally play this kind of in my free time, and, I don't even stream a lot because, I have a lot of other things going on in my life. So, just sit and kind of just stream and hang out. I don't have all that time to do, but I mean, I think it's great for the streaming community. It gives you an opportunity to do a little bit more and get invested. And so whatever, but yeah. That's my answer. Arrow, what do you think? Was it overhyped?
I like it in the sense that it's challenging, but the whole thing with showing it 20 times with different groups, because I usually do randos. It's just a lot. So I think it's really going to depend on how you play the game normally, if you're going to find this enjoyable or not, because I just feel like if you're playing it with randos like how I do, it's just not going to be the funnest thing in the world. But if you are a streamer or something, you can really have a lot of fun because you're going to be hanging out with people who want to play, and you could go, hey, let's hook up and hang out. If this was maybe a occasional thing you could do for fun, it would be a lot better. But having to do this all in 2 weeks is just, I'm not excited anymore.
And Black Cloud left this open for our interpretation. He said,
yeah.
So.
It seems like it's going to be a slog. As I said, I haven't gotten into the co-ops yet, but I am anticipating I am going to be sick of it by the end.
Well, we're going to.
So I do not think it was overhyped. I think it will. At the end of it, we'll say, yeah, it was hyped up appropriately as the miserable experience it was.
Very good. Well, it's not good, but it is what it is. Any other questions, Kreese?
Tass asks, does Arden live up to the hype? And I'll say, I think he does. He seems very strong. I've been liking his burst mode effect. I've been liking his abilities. I like free turn characters. I like break characters. I love lightning. So I've been enjoying using Arden. I'm sure Mark's going to agree with me too, and Arrow's going to say, I don't care about Arden.
Yeah,
I'll let you guys say what you think too.
Thank you for answering for us. Appreciate that. I think he's great. I would still like his burst. I think I'll live without it, but that extra 8 turns or 9 turns of his LD effect is really, really, really helpful, and his burst effect's really, really helpful. So it will give him a little bit more longevity. If I don't get his burst, I probably will just use him for these 5 challenge quests and be done with it. But I like him. Arrow, you've been using him reluctantly. So how do you feel about him?
I gotta say he's really strong, even with my gimped one I have. So I can definitely understand where the hype train was coming from for this kit, because this is pretty out there, and he's not very difficult to play for the most part, I feel like, which always seems to be a big selling point. Also, I got to say his banners have been amazing. Beginner players, banners, they made this month, it feels like, as a good month if you were new to the game to join the game. Wow. That's all I can say to that, because, man, I never thought they would do something like that. And again, right now, it just seems like such a strange banner to do it for, but it's good. So new players, this is your month. I hope you enjoy playing these characters. They're all very, very good from this cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, and last question we'll answer before we end the show and go to post-show. Star Scourge Jester asks, does the LDBT era live up to the hype so far?
Well,
Mark?
it's lived up to taking. Let me see. Let me get on the tracker here. It's lived up to taking 420,000 of my gems and over 1,400 of my tickets. So that's something.
Taken 170,000 gems for me. So yeah, it's been very hype in the gem sucking department for me.
Arrow, is it
how do we
everything you
answer
hope?
this question? Like in the terms of how many gems it's taken, or
No,
like,
just how
It's open for interpretation. We just,
Okay.
how are you
I like-
liking the era?
I like it a lot. It's made certain characters much more interesting. And widened what they kind of do a bit more, or just strengthened what they already did and made it better. So I like it overall. I enjoy playing with LDs and thinking of new strategies to use them on.
Hope Starter, the stream titles are always clickbait. So that's what that is. Crease and I pitied Renault's LD, and we're damn happy about it. So happy. We're so happy. So happy. Anyway. Hey, we did forget to say there are spheres, refinable spheres available in this event as well. So the 6 characters that are usable synergy in this event, boosted, they also have their refinable spheres, and there's some good ones. So check that out. You have to get 1 each for the ingots. So get 1 each, definitely, maybe do. So I've had a lot of pities. I've had 1, 2, 3 pities LDBT era. And one pretty close. So, hey, what's a few pities between friends? Hey, friends, this has been episode 121 of the Crystal Chronicles, your Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia podcast, or your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast, either one, your Defo podcast, not your Genshin Impact podcast. I think that'd probably be really boring. But for myself, Arrow, Crease, all of our friends, Macnol, DecidiaInfo.com, the Tomberry Troop, Ink Welder, Dreamy, Teleute, Bane Novus, Quetzalma of Materiabot, Strafe, Black Cloud, Black Nero on YouTube. Who am I forgetting? Shara, Hate13, who does our narration, Jin Lee, who does our wonderful backgrounds and wonderful YouTube content, although he's gotten back to work, so a little bit less. Ryan is the bomb 203 for our music. Of course, Dreamy did our little intro video as well. Thank you to Dreamy. J.A, our wonderful moderator on our Discord. Thank you for being part of our community, for watching another show. We'll be back next week with Kamari and more co-op stories, I'm sure. And Edward coming pretty quick as well. So there's plenty of Spoony Bards to talk about and some special guest hosts here in the coming weeks, we hope. But until then, this has been episode 121 of the Crystal Chronicles, recorded October 1st, 2020. Good luck as you grind co-op. May all of your tickets be LDBTs. Until next time, friends. Goodbye.